Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's Fall Semester in Review. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor, and over the next hour, we'll take a look back at the events and happenings from the fall semester. And some of the biggest news of the semester came at the end, as a new era of Trojan football started on December 1st when Troy University introduced the new head coach of the Trojan football team. And it's someone familiar to fans and the program. Amy Austin has the story.
I'm humbled and I'm honored to stand at this podium as Troy's head football coach.
Neil Brown took the podium today as Troy University football's head coach. Brown comes to Troy after being the offensive coordinator at Kentucky under Mark Stoops, and he said that this is the opportunity he has been waiting for.
Very, very excited. My family and I are very excited. Tremendous welcome at the airport last night. A lot of former players and friends and administrative people and just fans. And then the press conference this morning. Tremendous turnout. I can feel the energy and the excitement, and just very grateful for the opportunity that John Hartwell and Dr. Hawkins gave me.
This is not Brown's first time in Troy. He coached under Larry Blakeney from 2006 through 2009 as the offensive coordinator, and this gives him special ties to the university.
This is where my wife Brooke and I first moved when we got married in 2006. The first home was in Troy. That's where our first child was born. You know, Adeline was born here, and I don't think those two memories ever go away. So you always have a piece of your heart. And then from a professional standpoint, for Coach Blakeney to hire me at 25 years old as a Division I coach, forever grateful for him. And then again, to make me the youngest offensive coordinator in the country and putting that faith, you know, this place was always special to me.
And while Brown's background is the offense, the defensive coordinator job is a key focus for his next staff appointments.
The defensive coordinator job will probably be the most important hire on my staff. You know, I do have an offensive background. Now I will be involved in all phases, all three phases, special teams and defense as well. But I'm really committed to making the right hires and not getting in a hurry. I want to hire the right people, people that want to develop young men, that have a deep passion for Troy. I'm excited about the guys that are going to stay, and I'm excited about putting together this staff.
Amy Austin, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And it was midway through the season when Trojan fans learned that the football program would be seeking a replacement for longtime coach Larry Blakeney. Blakeney announced his retirement on October 5th. Courtney Addison takes us back to the day that the Trojan legend made his announcement.
On Monday morning, Trojan football head coach Larry Blakeney stepped up to the lectern to address the Trojan Nation to let them know that this will be his last season.
So it's time for me probably to move on, and the opportunity to finish coaching this team, especially where we are at this juncture in this season, is going to be one that I hope we can make a rewarding one.
There is still half a season left to play. However, Blakeney hopes that the decision to make the announcement now will help make his last season a success.
It's had a lot of thought put into it, I think, and you know, it was time to do something, and maybe a time that with that type of announcement might be a motivator, you know, might get some folks involved. I know there's a lot of folks involved on my phone and my email and my text the last 48 hours. So maybe we get everybody stirred up, we can get some things going.
Although Blakeney is retiring as head coach, he still plans to continue working with Trojan Athletics. I
still will hopefully, and I think for sure, maintain some kind of presence at Troy and try to help Troy University through assisting John Hartwell, our Director of Athletics, and Dr. Jack Hawkins, our Chancellor, and any projects and whatever that I can do, you know, along the way to make sure that I continue to be a part of this great university.
And Blakeney appreciates the support the Trojan family has already given him at this time.
It's good to know that within your organization and within your big circle of people, you got a lot of folks. Our phones have blown up. Janice and I both been texting since about half the night and this morning, and that's tremendous, man. People care. People care about this program, and that's a good thing, and that will sustain this program through whatever. Larry Blakeney's been here 24 years, and he's moving on to another horizon in his life, retirement. Hey, the next guy here with the interest that the people have in this program will sustain whomever that is to greater heights.
And Blakeney wasn't the only longtime coach to announce his retirement this fall. Trojan baseball head coach Bobby Pierce announced that the 2015 season would be his last, but he wanted the Trojan Nation to know that he was leaving his program in reliable, familiar hands. Clay Yeager has the story.
The purpose for today is to inform you of my decision to retire as the head baseball coach at the conclusion of the 2015 season.
As Troy head baseball coach Bobby Pierce announced his retirement Wednesday, Pierce also expressed his gratitude towards his staff and players he coached.
I have been very blessed and very fortunate and very grateful for the unbelievable opportunities I have received, and these opportunities have allowed me the sincere privilege to lead into competition some of the finest young men I have ever known.
In search of a new head coach, Pierce's only suggestion was to hire someone who has the player's best interest in mind.
My only comment to John about who's next was, please find somebody that will treat the student athletes fairly and coach them with character and integrity.
And that person is Mark Smart, who played at Troy University during his college years before serving as one of Pierce's assistant coaches. Smart had this to say after being named Pierce's successor.
30 years later, I'm still here and have the great fortune to be the head coach. It's really quite overwhelming. To know that I'll be listed among the same names as Chase Riddle and Bobby Pierce is really hard for me to fathom.
Smart, upon accepting the head coaching job, emotionally expressed his gratitude for the experiences he has had as both a player and a coach.
I played on 2 national championship teams for the greatest baseball coach I could have ever possibly played for. 12 years ago, Bobby Pierce extended me the opportunity to be his assistant coach, and it gave me a chance to work with the greatest baseball coach anyone could possibly work for.
Coach Smart also looks to continue the success of the renowned past coaches at Troy University.
I will strive daily to maintain the success that legendary Troy coaches Chase Riddle and Bobby Pierce worked so hard to build.
Clay Yeager, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
In his final season, Pierce has the chance to hit a big milestone. He's just 15 wins shy of surpassing legendary Trojan head coach Chase Riddle for most wins in school history. And we go from retirement announcements to honoring a recent retiree, as Troy University's Center for Student Success was officially named for the man who inspired its creation. On November 8th, Troy University officially dedicated the Center for Student Success for former Troy administrator Dr. John Schmidt. Schmidt served the university in a number of administrative positions for 20 years before retiring in July. The university felt it was important to name the center for Schmidt because he was instrumental in its creation.
It makes me proud to be a Trojan, number one, but it also makes me proud that this will serve other students to hopefully help them persist, hopefully add value to their education, not just in the classroom, but outside the classroom too. So for that, it makes me feel, I'm grateful, I feel joy, and I feel pride.
Now, John Schmidt, I've known him for 50 years, and he's probably one of the most unselfish, student-focused people I've ever known. And so for us to recognize him, in effect, is a great honor for us. So we honor him, but it's an honor to this university to have his name attached in a permanent way to a facility like this.
The John Schmidt Center for Student Success is located in Eldridge Hall. Well, many students choose to attend a community college before they go to a 4-year university. But according to statistics, many of those students don't actually graduate with their associate's degree. Well, this semester, Troy University is stepping in to help. Courtney Adderson shows us how students will soon be able to earn that degree while getting credit at Troy.
Troy University has partnered with Southern Union Community College in Wadley to create the reverse transfer program.
Can you imagine running a race and not ever knowing that you crossed the finish line?
Chancellor Jack Hawkins Jr. and other Board of Trustee members met with Southern Union officials Thursday to publicly launch this program. This is how it works. A student who starts at Southern Union is short just a few classes from earning an associate's degree, but the student decides to transfer to Troy to earn a bachelor's degree. Southern Union will then accept courses taken at Troy and credit them towards the associate's degree. That way, a student could potentially earn 2 degrees, one from Troy and one from Southern Union.
You know, what this is going to do, it's going to allow us to demonstrate to the whole world what we already knew. Alabamians are smart people.
Troy prides itself in being a university that thinks outside the box.
Troy University has a long history of collaboration with the community colleges throughout the state of Alabama.
Chancellor Hawkins says this program is an easy way to better the state of Alabama as a whole.
We can reward people in a very symbolic fashion and a meaningful fashion, the more it translates into dollars and cents for those people and for the state of Alabama.
Troy University also donated to Southern Union Scholarship Bank. Courtney Addison, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll take a look at many of the ways Troy is proving itself to be Alabama's international university. Stay tuned. Semester in Review. We'll be right back.
Welcome home, man.
At Troy University, one of our proudest achievements is serving active duty military and veterans. Whether you study in class or online, Troy makes it possible for you to get the degree you need to further your career. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Troy University is known for its international student body, but part of that student body includes Troy students studying in and getting degrees in other countries. In October, Troy University Chancellor Jack Hawkins made the trip to Vietnam to hand out degrees to students who earned their Troy diplomas on foreign soil.
We don't build buildings in faraway lands. We build programs and we create opportunities for students.
Troy University is home to students in over 70 countries, one of those being Vietnam. Chancellor Hawkins, along with other university officials, traveled to Vietnam this week to reward nearly 200 degrees during 3 commencement ceremonies. And Chancellor Hawkins says the long trip is worthwhile.
To see these families and these students who know that education is the key to the future graduate, and as a baseline for future success, it's really inspiring and it's encouraging, and it tells me that our program that has established Troy University as Alabama's international university is working.
Troy has partnerships with 3 universities in Vietnam. Some of the degrees that students will be receiving this week are a bachelor's degree in business administration, a master's degree in business administration, and also a bachelor's degree in computer science. Troy is proud to be working to mend differences from long ago.
When you think about the fact that 40 years ago our countries were at war, and today we're working hard to build relationships, to educate each other, and to build a better world.
Chancellor Hawkins adds that these partnerships are more than just an agreement.
Life is about relationships, and these partnerships with other institutions, they're all built on personal relationships. That's how it starts, but then it becomes so much more important than that.
Every year, Chancellor Hawkins gives a speech at the local ceremonies, and he tells us one of his major points to every graduation speech.
It's their day. It's the day of family. It's the day of the institution. This is the day that we all come together and we celebrate the culmination of several years of hard work.
Troy is the first American university to plant a seed in Vietnam. The first bachelor's degree was awarded in 2008, and the first master's degree was given in 2010. Courtney Addison, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And because of its global reach, Troy is often referred to as Alabama's international university. That claim is now backed up by Governor Robert Bentley. Bentley signed a proclamation on November 19th commending Troy for its leadership in international education. Governor Bentley was joined at the signing by members of Troy University's international student body, which totals nearly 800 students from 75 different countries. University leaders feel that diversity makes for a fun learning environment.
One of the, again, fun things and rewarding things about being at Troy is learning from these students. And so in this International Education Week, we're having those opportunities every day to hear them give their perspectives, to share a meal with them, to learn about their country. So I love this time of year.
And the signing was a part of Troy University's International Week activities. Throughout the week, Troy University's international students share a bit of their culture with their American neighbors. Sarah Singletary gives us a look.
International Education Week continued Wednesday afternoon with the Explore the World event. Countries from around the globe are represented through food, art, clothing, and music. One international student tells us what she hopes to bring from her home country to America.
So we're kind of trying to bring the festivals, the food culture. I've seen a lot of Americans loving Indian food. So the food and the dress, you know, what we wear, kind of basically all what we are. We're trying to bring it over here.
The purpose of this week is not only to expose students to other cultures on campus, but to also educate them on opportunities to study abroad. International Student Services Dean Darlene Schmoor Stewart tells us what she hopes students gather from this week.
We hope some of these events give American students a flavor of what they can experience, both by engaging with international students here on campus and looking at opportunities of going abroad themselves.
The Troy University student population represents 75 countries worldwide. One student tells us what's so interesting to her when it comes to international education.
I think it's awesome how no matter what differences we have, we can come together and, you know, interact and make friendships and just share our cultures and really get along as one, which is why I think Troy University is so great.
International Education Week is a national holiday celebrated on university campuses across the country. Sarah Singletary, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And the week wraps up with one of the biggest festivals held by Troy University's international students every year, the ISCO Festival. Haley Greathouse gives us a look at this year's event.
The International Student Cultural Organization held their annual festival Thursday night, and this is a big event for Troy's international community.
Today we were celebrating the Trojan spirit around the world. It allowed for us to just be one, like we are Trojans one and all.
Somebody else told me this and said it's the event of the year. This is such a good time to gather together from all over the world.
The ISCO members appreciate all the support shown for the organization and students.
I appreciate all these people that they came to visit us because we work hard really and we enjoy this process.
But the festival is more than just a performance.
Kids from all over the world come together to help each other put on an evening of music, songs, dancing, but more than anything, lovely coexistence.
The festival brings together students and helps form bonds.
It's my opinion, it's very different. It's good, and you have a lot of friends international, a lot of Americans.
The ISCO Festival brings American and international students together, and audience members say they have a hard time choosing their favorite part.
I think all of them.
I think my favorite part is just everything from A to Z.
Actually, I can't tell. And Troy being an international university means a lot to the students.
For me, it means that I can be a global leader leaving this campus. I can go out into the world. Despite meeting different people from different backgrounds, I'm able to teamwork with them. I'm able to just appreciate their culture and their differences.
And while ISCO has been around for quite some time, a relatively new international organization on campus is the Confucius Institute. It has been on campus for 7 years. However, the Institute has been in existence worldwide for 10. Troy's Institute celebrated the 10-year anniversary in September with a festival on the Bibb Graves Quad. Raven Adara has the story.
Friday afternoon, students celebrated Chinese culture by taking part in the Mid-Autumn Festival.
Today is the special event and to celebrate the Confucius Institute, Global Confucius Institute about 10 years, and also Troy University Confucius Institute about 7 years.
It's the 10th anniversary of the Confucius Institute.
Chinese friends, they always tell me about it, so I think it's a big event for them.
We gathered students and campers and to celebrate that special event.
The festivities brought faculty and students together on the quad.
Today and over I think 300 students join us. It's a really, really amazing and successful event.
I heard about it from taking the Tai Chi class with Master Lee.
I work in the business office and I have a student here. Everybody in the office was talking about it.
On the way to class, many students stopped to taste a wonton, write their name and characters, and participate in traditional Chinese dance.
We have a Chinese calligraphy, so you can tell us your English name and I will translate it into the Chinese characters for you.
I wrote my name, I learned something in Chinese and expressed my country, my language as well.
We have fitness dancing. Yeah, it's very popular on Chinese internet.
Homecoming is right around the corner, and this year's theme is getting back to our roots. The Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival is one way that Troy students are getting back to their roots while introducing Americans to traditional Chinese culture.
Tonight we will have a Mid-Autumn celebration banquet. Actually, this is a series of events to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Confucius Institute.
The celebration doesn't end here, and everyone is invited to get involved.
Beijing Jiao Tong University will be here on October 2nd in the evening to give us a very, very beautiful show. And the show including the Chinese traditional music and the Chinese martial arts and also Chinese traditional dancing.
You can follow us on Facebook. You can search Confucius Institute of Troy University. Yeah, and we have a Chinese corner every Thursday afternoon.
Raven Adara, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to step away for another quick break, but when we come back, we'll look at how Troy University spent the semester spreading the joy of reading. We'll be right back.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
All of Troy University's freshmen are reading the book Fahrenheit 451 for this year's Common Reader. But this semester, Troy's Common Reader spreads out into the surrounding community as an effort to encourage reading citywide. Whitney Hartzell explains.
Tuesday night, Troy University and the City of Troy held the kickoff for the Big Read program, an initiative to encourage reading communities around the country, sponsored by the National Endowment for the Arts.
It asks you to take a book that's part of the sort of the big list of famous American works and create programs around it so communities can have discussion about books and reading and ideas and why all of that's important.
The book chosen by the committee is Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451.
Fahrenheit 451 had kind of been on our horizon for a while. It's a great book. It's a classic. It's been out for about 60 years. Some people read it. I read it in high school. Others, though, in another generation haven't read it. So I had an opportunity to kind of look at that book and put it through the process.
Elaine Bassett, the university's Writing Center coordinator, expresses why Fahrenheit 451 is an excellent book for this reading initiative.
Because it is a book that is full of the right ideas that we try to work with students. This is a book about what happens in a world when there is no more reading and thinking, when people just begin to be superficial, to react just to the stimulus around them, rather than living in their minds a little bit.
To promote the campaign, local students contributed artwork for promotional posters to be displayed around in Troy.
The children at Charles Henderson High School created the artwork about their favorite book or some kind of inspiration about reading, because they were all avid readers.
Whitney Hartzell, Troy TrojanVision News.
Troy University's music department started the All Steinway initiative this year. Amy Austin gives us a look at the plan and the 2 newest Steinways on Troy's campus.
Troy University's Department of Music started the All Steinway initiative in March of this year. The reason behind choosing the Steinway brand is because they are the best.
When we talk about the piano world, and then we know that Steinway is the best. And the reason the best because they have been setting up the uncompromised standard for that piano. Usually when they build one grand piano, it takes probably about a year and by almost like 300 highly trained people to build that.
The initiative was started in order to have 34 Steinway pianos throughout the music department and to give students the best resources available.
Troy University, our goal is always provide the best to the students. And of course, we want to provide a really good instrument. And when we talk about piano, what's the first? Steinway. So becoming an all Steinway school, it's not only make us look good. It's like kind of like a proof evidence. It shows Troy want to provide the best instrument to the students.
And Troy has already started purchasing the new Steinways. The two sitting in Long Hall are the first ever of their kind in the world.
We have the first two, sterling silver, a Steinway concert grand, Model D, which is a 9-foot long. Another one is Model B, which is 7-foot long concert grand in Troy. And actually they are the first two sterling silver, 9-foot and 7-foot long in the world. And Troy University, we owns them. And that's a huge and a big step for us on our process to becoming an all-Steinway school.
Amy Alston, Troy, TrojanVision News.
A new Troy University marketing campaign launched this fall embraces the Trojan warrior spirit. Trojans around the world now have a chance to put their faces in the campaign using a new website. Dustin Allen shows us how Trojans can access this new technology.
A new website on campus gives students a chance to embrace the Warrior Spirit campaign, and all you need is a selfie.
The new website was really inspired directly by the university's marketing campaign, the Warrior Spirit and Inner Warrior campaign that has been going on throughout this year. And of course the central image in that is the people with the half mast to signify the inner Trojan warrior. And one of the first things that we started hearing on social media was people said, oh, there should be an app or something so that we could do our own custom warrior profile pictures.
The new Trojan Warrior website is designed to allow students to share their Trojan spirit by uploading a photo into the new photo website and instantly becoming a part of this campaign.
So one of the main reasons that we really wanted to put this out there was because we just want people to have a fun way that they can show their pride in Troy University, and we thought this was a great way to let people on social media kind of show their love for their school and the pride that they have, and it's really just a lot of fun.
And students can do just that. It's pretty simple, really. All you do is take a selfie or upload one from a previous file, select a custom background, and you instantly become a part of this campaign. And don't forget to hashtag TroyUSpirit.
This is actually a website, so it's available online at TroyTrojanSpirit.com, and you can go to the website on your phone or any mobile device, and it also works on computer.
Dustin Allen, Troy TrojanVision News.
This semester, Troy University's library welcomed a new familiar face to head the school's library system. Haley Greathouse introduces us to the new Dean of Libraries.
Troy University has a new Dean of Libraries, and he is a familiar face to many staff members. Christopher Schaefer was promoted from the Dothan campus.
It's a fairly easy transition, actually, because I've been with the university for 9 years. I worked a year on this campus as reference librarian and then went to Dothan, where I was director for 8 years.
As Dean of Libraries, he oversees all aspects of library services, but he wasn't always in libraries. In fact, he got his library degree in 2004.
I have a diversity of experiences. I was originally a high school teacher. I taught in Banska Bystrica, Slovakia for a year, and taught middle school for 3 years, and then 5 years teaching general and AP history.
And students have a lot to look forward to in the upcoming year.
For this year, I'm just getting started. I think this is day 9 on the job or something like that. But we're already talking about developing a year of Shakespeare. I'm very interested in outreach to the faculty and student community. We just put up an exhibit downstairs. I want to start a lecture series. I do a lot of grant writing, and so we're looking at doing a lot of things along those lines, and we'll see what opportunities come our way.
Schaefer is enjoying his new job and is excited about the opportunities that will come with it.
I'm just really excited about being here and can't wait to get started. I think we have a lot of opportunities, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the faculty and students at the Troy campus.
Haley Greathouse, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And we've reached the midpoint to this semester in review, and after this break, we'll take a look at what all happened in Trojan sports in the fall semester. So stay tuned.
At Troy University, one of our proudest achievements is serving active duty military and veterans. Whether you study in class or online, Troy makes it possible for you to get the degree you need to further your career. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Food. It nourishes, brings us together, and adds flavor to life. That's why it's important to wash hands, surfaces, and fresh produce. Keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from ready-to-eat foods like fruits and vegetables. And cook to proper temperatures using a food thermometer. Enjoy, and refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. For more tips on safely preparing foods, visit homefoodsafety.org.
And fall is always a busy time for sports at Troy University, even without this semester's retirements and new hires. To give us a rundown of what all went on in Trojan sports this fall, here's Amy Austin.
It was the dream season for the Troy soccer team as they ended the season 16-6. The team made it to the Sun Belt Conference Tournament Championship game, where it lost 1-0 against South Alabama. The Trojans broke many records over the season, including 21 individual and team records. Chelsea Williams became the all-time leading scorer in program history with 25 goals, and Troy's 16 wins in the season is the most in program history. And head coach Jason Hamilton said these records are going to be beneficial for the program in the future.
Anytime you can come in your first year and have as much success that we have, it's obviously very special. I think it's something that's needed for a program to go in the right direction. The wins and losses and all the records, that's special on one side of it, but for the direction that's going to take this program is even more special.
And the football team didn't have as successful a season as they only won 3 of the 12 games in Coach Larry Blakeney's final year as head coach. The 3 wins came against New Mexico State, Georgia State, and Idaho. Freshman quarterback Brandon Silvers broke the NCAA freshman record for completion percentage, which was over 70. And in Blakeney's final season at Troy, he surpassed the 3rd most winningest coach in Alabama, Shug Jordan, with his 177th win. He also broke 100 wins at home in Veterans Memorial Stadium. And head coach Larry Blakeney said his team hung in there with some opponents, but did not perform at their best.
Although we weren't able to win the game, we had some guys that played hard, and anytime you face a good football team like ULL, you got to play near perfect to win. And we certainly weren't perfect. We did hang in there with them.
The Trojan volleyball team also struggled through the 2014 season. The team finished with a 10-22 record. The year started off well for the Trojans as they had the best winning streak in program history to start the season, but then got into a slump with an 18-game losing streak. The team broke the losing streak in the final game of the season against South Alabama. The women's basketball season began a couple of weeks ago, and the team has faced some tough opponents. The Trojans are currently 3-3 on the season, the 3 losses coming from Auburn, Clemson, and Savannah State. Troy defeated Southeastern Louisiana, Florida A&M, and Samford to gain the 3 wins. And head coach Chanda Rigby has been focusing on the speed of the game to help her team improve in each outing.
I never felt like it was a fast enough pace, but it gives us film and something to work on. We try to make sure the first 2 steps when we go from defense to offense, our first 2 steps beats everybody else's first 2 steps. And I was watching that tonight. It didn't look as peppy as I want it to look, but we'll keep improving.
And the men's team is also having a tough season so far as the team is adjusting to a bench full of new players. The men's basketball team is currently 2-3 on the season with the 2 wins coming at home. Troy has faced two SEC opponents this season. Ole Miss defeated Troy 74-64, and Georgia defeated the Trojans 82-60. But Troy redeemed themselves at home with a 72-51 victory over Alcorn State. And with lots of new players, head coach Phil Cunningham said defense is the focus.
Again, we've got to get better defensively. And this team, in general, this team it's going to be a long process. It's going to be rough early. You know, we've got a tough schedule, and because we have so many new guys, and we're kind of learning on the fly.
Amy Alston, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And even though it was around for baseball last year, this fall was the first time Trojan football fans had the chance to enjoy a cold beer while watching the Trojans play in Veterans Memorial Stadium. Amy Alston has more on the game day edition.
A new drink option will be offered at football games. Veterans Memorial Stadium will now be allowed to sell beer after the successful sales throughout the 2014 baseball season.
We actually launched beer sales at athletic events this past season with baseball, launched it in February. It was after our Board of Trustees approved beer sales in our athletics venues at last December's board meeting. And as we launched it with baseball, we did not have any problems with crowd control or game management or underage drinking or any of those types of things.
Certain rules will be in place for beer sales, such as armbands and ID checks, to ensure a safe and fun environment.
From a game management standpoint, to make sure that we are employing all the industry standards in terms of safeguarding against those types of things, such as cutting off sales at the end of the third quarter, to make sure that our venues stay both fan and family friendly.
And while Athletic Director John Hartwell feels the sales will make a large profit, the main goal is fan experience.
Once it gets up to speed, that we can generate probably about $200,000 a year all in with all of our venues. But really the greater driving force is, again, going back to fan experience, giving our fans an amenity that they've come to expect in many other venues.
Not only will your money go to the purchase of a nice cold beer, but also it will help fund the North End Zone project.
Our plan with the additional new revenue stream is to utilize that to help fund a new North End Zone for football, which is a project that's been out there on the drawing board for a while. And you know, a lot of people say, well, gosh, do you really need more seats in the stadium? It's not so much about the seats in the stadium as much as it is about our day-to-day home for our football program.
Amy Alston, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And that wraps up our look at some of the sports highlights for the fall. When we come back after this break, we'll learn about some new and interesting course offerings that made their debut this fall. All that and more after this break.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics, but his proudest achievement is helping his students accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit.
We served our country like those before us.
You know, it was a dangerous era. All of Vietnam was dangerous.
The carnage of war left an indelible mark on me.
We came back and built lives. As time went on, we faced new challenges and found support to handle them.
I went to the VA, talked to my doctor.
I started doing groups. I started doing one-on-one counseling.
At MakeTheConnection.net, you can hear our stories and find tools and services available to you.
And Troy University is preparing students for the future job market as they launched a new minor this fall based on some emerging technology. Clay Yeager gives us a look.
Troy University is presenting students a new minor offered under the Department of Chemistry and Physics.
The unmanned aerial systems minor is not only new to the university, but Troy is the first to offer the minor in the state of Alabama.
Troy will be covering the entire spectrum of aviation training, fixed-wing helicopters and now in unmanned aerial systems. There's no other school that's doing that right now in Alabama, and so I like being out there. And I think it'll train them to, I mean, someday it doesn't seem too far-fetched to say that, you know, you might be the CDO, the chief drone officer in your corporation.
However, some people may ask the question, what do unmanned aerial systems actually do?
Basically, any system that can be controlled from the ground or can operate autonomously that will allow you to observe or sense things from the air.
According to Allenback, these aerial systems will be a booming industry, bringing in an estimated $82 billion. Allenback also mentions that the military will not only be using drones, but corporations such as Amazon and Google.
I think it'll position our graduates to go to companies who don't know anything about these machines but want to. And so having this on your resume is going to make you stand out. It'll help differentiate you from the rest of the pack. And it's going to just be, I think, something that a graduate going into the modern job market is really going to value.
The unmanned aerial system classes have already begun, but you can expect the 2015 classes to take off next year. I'm Clay Ager with Troy, TrojanVision News.
And another new minor offered this fall is helping Troy's Office of Service Learning and Engagement with this goal to find ways to get students more involved in the community. Well, now that community involvement is making its way into the classroom as Troy offers a new minor in civic engagement. Amanda Langley gives us a look.
Troy University students now have the chance to address social problems of their liking within the new minor of public service and civic engagement.
Really, it's open for all majors, so and it's fairly adaptable. So how that works is a student will choose basically an area of concentration, an issue or topic that they're concerned about, and take classes here at Troy that already exist on that topic. On the front end of that, they'll take 2 classes focused on applications as well as skills related to going out and solving public issues, working with government agencies, community members, nonprofits, businesses to go out and implement that change.
While students work toward a cause they are passionate about, their contributions will not just benefit others in the community, but also benefit themselves by gaining experience and a resume.
It's a great opportunity to build those problem-solving skills that more and more employers are looking for, and it's applied in nature. So you can get out in the field and try on different career fields or applications while also building that resume, which is going to be valuable to students in the future.
Steelan feels this new minor is a natural progression of all that he has been working toward during his time here at Troy.
So I've been here for a number of years, and each year we kind of add different programs and different elements to ways that students can be involved in the local community. And so we kind of looked at this as an extension of those efforts, both in the classroom as well as out of the classroom, and kind of merging those things together, and then offering a minor for students that are interested in building skills in public service.
Amanda Langley, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And another way Troy is getting students involved with helping in the community is through a new organization that is taking the extra food from Troy's dining facility and distributing it to those who need it in the community. Haley Greathouse has more.
120 white plates filled a cooler ready to go out into the community. The only thing that stopped it from being more is moving capacity. Troy University Campus Kitchens is finally in full swing.
Campus Kitchens is a student-run hunger relief program that's run in conjunction with Trojan Dining. It's been about 20 months in the making. Initially started out of a program in my office called Civic Scholars, and Ryan Cole was a Civic Scholar and was really passionate about hunger and poverty and wanted to see what was like sustainable ways that we could do something about it, kind of going beyond just a classic food drive model.
The food currently goes to one place.
So it goes to the Head Start program, which is a pre-K program in our local community for students of low income or with disabilities to kind of get them ready for the K-12 education system.
And the volunteers hope to one day have a larger impact.
If you feed somebody for a day, that fits and fills a short-term need, but if we can work with these families in the education system and help them process, developing skills and, life management and things of that nature, along with education. Hopefully we can, start to address poverty in our community from a longer-term perspective.
Currently, Campus Kitchens is only accepting a few volunteers, but Seelan says to look for plenty of opportunities in the spring.
Folks that are interested in volunteering, go like us on Facebook, where we're going to announce volunteer shifts and things of that nature. And our Facebook page is called the Campus Kitchens at Troy University, or they can find us on Twitter at CKTroy. So students can look for more volunteer opportunities into the spring semester when we'll really open that up to other students and student groups.
Haley Greathouse, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And a big part of civic engagement is volunteering in the community. And for the 4th year, to honor the September 11th attacks, Troy students rolled up their sleeves and tried to make the community a better place. Deborah Bogart explains.
Across the nation, Americans are remembering and honoring those that lost their lives in the September 11th attacks. Some Troy students decided to show their patriotism by giving back to the community in a day of service.
Well, it gives them opportunities, one, to serve and give back. It's monumental in the sense that it is 9/11, and and it's a good way to remember those persons that we lost.
It's always important, but this day does kind of signify something bigger than what this service is. It's quite a big day for the entire country, and just a good thing to represent in a positive manner.
As a part of the service activities, some students were able to go to the Boys and Girls Club and help revamp their facilities for the upcoming school year.
We are painting the Boys and Girls Club. We are so excited. I chose the colors, so I'm really excited about that. The students, they approved of the colors, so the members of our club did. And so they'll be so excited when they come back next week to see and get a feel of a new club.
And for the students, it wasn't just about service to the community. There was the added benefit of sharing time with their fellow students.
My favorite part is just seeing the students that I wouldn't typically meet on campus just come together for a common purpose and work for Boys and Girls Club.
This was one of 3 days of service for Troy students this week, but Tyler feels it's good for students to contribute anytime they have the chance.
Well, I feel that it's important that we do service just in general, just because sometimes we always have a few hours of free time, and so I've always felt that you might as well do it towards some helping and helping the community that's around us.
Deborah Bogart, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Throughout the month of October, the Office of Civic Engagement, along with Troy University's counseling department, held a series of events designed to stop bullying. The bully-proof events wrapped up with a vigil honoring the victims of bullying. Once again, here's Haley Greathouse.
Thursday night, community members gathered together in Hawkins Hall to end a month of activities aimed at helping students be bully-proof.
This was kind of our final event this evening, which was a town hall meeting with an expert panel to raise awareness, starting with principal, school counselor, clinical mental health counselor, and then a victim advocate to share their experiences in our community with bullying, which then concluded with a candlelight vigil.
The town hall meeting focused on how everyone can help victims of bullying.
How do we deal with this whole issue of bullying from multiple perspectives for everyone that might be involved? Because even the bully themselves is yet a victim if you really think about it.
And Orok says the main point of the bully-proof events is to provide awareness.
I think, what we're doing right now is we're planting seeds. And so we've been planting these seeds to grow that awareness.
After the town hall meeting, community members gathered outside for a candlelight vigil. It was a time to grieve for the people who committed suicide due to bullying in the past year.
I think it's important that everyone has an opportunity to grieve in different ways. And this is both a remembrance and an honoring, and also an opportunity to revisit those feelings if someone needs to. They shouldn't be forgotten. They should be remembered. And I look for a time in our future when bullying at the levels we're experiencing today is really a thing of the past.
And we're coming close to the end of our look back at the fall semester. After this short break, we'll look at some of the fun and entertaining activities that transpired in the fall. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Don't look at me. Your hair's
bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
At Troy University, one of our proudest achievements is serving active duty military and veterans. Whether you study in class or online, Troy makes it possible for you to get the degree you need to further your career. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
In November, 15 young women competed for the title of Miss Troy University. One lucky contestant walked away with the title and will represent Troy at the Miss Alabama pageant in June. Xavier Harris has the story.
Saturday evening, Troy University held its annual Miss Troy University pageant, where 15 girls competed to try and earn the title of Miss Troy. But as the pageant director explains, getting ready for the pageant was no easy task.
We have an interest meeting about 4 or 5 weeks out, and then the packet information, which is a lot of paperwork, is due 2 weeks prior to the pageant. Then we start pageant preparations, which is we have a tea with Miss Hawkins at her home, and then we have the first rehearsal for practices, and that starts the Sunday before. And then we normally have 2 other practices during the week to get ready for Saturday night's performance.
Singing, acrobats, monologue, and sign language were just some of the talents that were shown during the talent portion of the pageant. One of the contestants explains how she prepares for the Miss Troy University's pageant.
Preparing for Miss Troy was something that I started early with. I made sure that I had all my ducks in a row. I got my dresses, I got my swimsuit, and everything like that.
As the evening went on and the 15 young ladies tackled tough on-stage questions, swimwear, and evening gown categories, only one young lady could be crowned the new Miss Troy University. Hannah McDonald, a senior from Prattville, Alabama, majoring in elementary education. When asked for an interview, McDonald started off by telling why she chose her platform for Miss Troy.
My platform is Ronald McDonald House Charities, and it actually chose me. Whenever I was born, I was a sick baby, so Ronald McDonald House in Birmingham went firsthand with my family, and they were able to stay there, and that was the glue that held them together, so it's been close to my heart ever since.
And for any young lady considering doing the next Miss Troy, what are some things they may need to know?
Definitely do it. It's scholarship money, and everyone needs scholarship money, so it's worth a chance.
There's some rules, as far as competing in Miss Troy, you have to be a student in Alabama. So there's a lot of rules, but they can come by my office and talk about it. 256 Adams Administration.
Xavier Harris, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And fall is obviously not a time for spring cleaning, but in October, a popular Troy University landmark got a good scrub down. As Courtney Addison shows us, it took a lot more than just elbow grease to get the Trojan statue in tip-top shape just in time for homecoming.
It was like 2 years, just a major adrenaline rush.
Those are the thoughts that come to mind when the designer of this landmark, Larry Strickland, thinks about creating the statue 10 years ago. Every day, hundreds of students walk past the Trojan Warrior statue and don't look twice. But what many students don't know is that it almost wasn't made.
We wanted to do something that was like a signature piece for the university. This was in 1999. We were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And then finally we weren't happy with the Millennium Tower. And so they decided, can you do a Trojan? I said, sure.
The statue took about 4 years to complete from start to finish. It was completed in 2004 and hadn't been cleaned since. After looking at a magazine one Saturday morning, Strickland realized it was time to fix that.
I saw an article in the Alabama magazine about a month ago, and they did a picture of it, and it was black. You remember, it's black. Well, that wasn't how it was supposed to look.
And what was his reaction when I told him I had no idea what the color of this statue was supposed to be?
It's amazing to me that a lot of the students have never seen it as the original way it was, which was very gold, a lot of golds and colors.
Members of the SGA volunteered time throughout the week to help Strickland clean the statue. Courtney Addison, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In September, music fans and Troy University music students got a rare treat as the United States Air Force Band visited campus to kick off their fall tour. Courtney Addison has the details.
The Troy community had the opportunity to treat themselves to hearing one of the greatest bands around. From Broadway tunes to patriotic melodies, the U.S. Air Force Band played it all. Janice Carl, a member of the band, tells us what it meant to play at Troy University.
Oh, it's wonderful because especially we got to have the choir sing with us and some band members. And of course, you know, we've all got our degrees in music or master's degrees in music, and so to remember where we came from and then they can sort of aspire, it's a neat collaboration.
As Carl mentioned, members of the Troy University Band were able to join in on the fun. One band member says sharing the stage with the Air Force Band was an incredible feeling.
It's just awesome to have the opportunity, and as far as it's like a once-in-a-lifetime deal. It rarely ever happens, and it's just an honor to get to play with them, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
One audience member says the concert was more than just music.
Tonight I saw why we should be proud as being Americans today. 20 years ago I was born. My father was working for the U.S. Air Force, and now tonight I'm seeing the importance of why we should be Americans and why we should be proud of living in this land.
And what were some of the favorite moments of the performance?
I really like the patriotic music that we do at the end when we can thank the veterans and thank the active duty members, their families, and just, you know, give back and be able to be in the community and let them see the Air Force and know that we support them.
My favorite part was A Night in Broadway when they performed The Lion King, and another performance I love was 76 Trombones, because I'm a trombone player, and I enjoy listening to that tune every single time.
Definitely the Broadway, that was awesome.
Troy University's theater department brought a musical made popular on film to the Trojan Center stage. Haley Greathouse gives us a look at this semester's production of Little Shop of Horrors.
A human-eating flower is the star of this semester's musical. Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance presents Little Shop of Horrors.
It's about 3 people that work a flower shop, and it's a quirky little guy and a very dramatic girl, and they happen to fall in love. Seymour, the guy, he discovers this plant, and the only way it grows is by blood. And so he ends up only eating blood, and he ends up having to feed him people throughout the play.
And audience members are able to get an up-close and personal perspective on the play.
The audience gets to actually sit on the stage with us for this performance, so we're hoping that we really can get them involved with what's going on in the story.
One actor has had some unique struggles to deal with during production.
Learning to emote with a puppet, because in the puppet, I'm not Muhammad, I'm this big plant, and this isn't my face. Like, my whole body is my face. So instead of just making a mean face, I have to, like, you know, lean over to the side and do all this weird stuff. It's awesome though.
And actors say a scene near the beginning is their favorite.
My favorite part is Skid Row, because you come out and you get to see what we live in and what we have to deal with from day to day.
Skid Row, because it's all of us on stage together. I get to dance and sing and act. It's just all of us, and we all come together, and it's one just big, powerful, like, energetic number.
And what do audience members have to look forward to?
They have to look forward to a love story and just a really just crazy, freaky, like almost horror movie, but really cheesy, fun thing.
Haley Greathouse, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And that wraps things up for our look back at the fall semester. We hope you join us again in the spring for our next installment of Semester in Review. For myself and the rest of the crew here at TrojanVision, thanks for joining us, and have a happy holidays.
I'm Troy Mayor Jason Reeves.
And I'm Jack Hawkins Jr., Chancellor of Troy University, and I'm delighted to join the mayor in asking you to keep our community and our university beautiful by recycling and using our precious resources wisely.
Not only does recycling help create jobs, it makes you feel great as well. You can pick up your blue bags at Troy City Hall or the Troy Public Library.
There was a Creek Indian proverb that maintained that we don't inherit the land from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children.
When you recycle, you help save energy and save money. Together, we can keep Troy beautiful to live, work, and study for generations to come.